Hey guys, here's this 1966 Chevrolet truck my dad bought. This truck belonged to a guy that was local to us. We've known him for years, and this was kind of his project. He's had the truck for a long time. Now, I don't know if he just had the cab, and I don't know if this cab was a long bed or I don't know the entire history on the truck, but it's got a super good cab. It's got a short bed, 1972 model frame, and the hard work's been done. It's 5-lug disc brake. It's got a little small block in it. It's got a good cam. You can see kind of where he left it. It's got a lawnmower tank on it, feeding the fuel pump. Probably just so he could, move it around. No disrespect there, guys. I know that looks stupid and gaudy, but, when you're kind of taking little bites at something like this, you just kind of got to get it to where you can move it. And that's probably where he was at with this truck. But we'll get rid of that. We'll go ahead and order a new tank, new sending unit, get all that plumbed in, get the brakes working so I can move it around here at my house. Got to move one radiator support mount. He's got one of them moved. This one's got to be moved just a little bit and mounted. The bed is lined up. We just got to kind of finesse it just a little bit and bolt it down. But other than that, again, guys, this truck, it was almost there. And he gave up on it and moved it on to the next guy. He's had some stuff going on, some personal stuff, and just kind of had to clean house. But, again, it runs, it drives. I drove it into the garage. I moved it from where my wagon's at. It was over there a little bit earlier today. You'll see Mr. PIB's video on it at some point. But anyway, I got my wagon fixed, by the way. Let me show you what was wrong with it. This is an A-arm off a 63 model that I have. And one of the bolts, you can see the bolt I took out of it. That car had new bushings in it, but one of the bolts fell out. And we checked the rest of them. Well, my dad did. And you could take them out with your hand. I mean, they were loose as they could be. So, anyway, we got the bushing. It had pushed one of the bushings out and knocked the bolt out on the front of the passenger side A-arm. We got all that put back in and locked down tight. It's ready to go. I'm going to have to pull that car back over here and bolt check it eventually. I'm going to bolt check this truck. And some of you dirt track racers, whatever, y'all probably know what I'm talking about, bolt checking. I've got some real good friends at work. They are dirt track racers, and they talk about bolt checking. And that's not something that I typically do or have done, but you know what? When you get an old project from somebody, probably a good idea to do it. And basically, start at one corner, work your way all the way around, and anything that could be any bolt, check it, make sure it's tight. So we'll do that to this one. And again, put a new fuel tank sending unit, get the lights and stuff working, get the rear brakes fixed, just so we can move it in and out of the garage. Anyway, I'll show you the truck. Again, it needs battery cables. You can see I've got some vice grips kind of hooked to it. The motor runs great. You'll see that in Mr. PIB's video. I think the carburetor could use a little bit of attention. That's no problem. I'll get that fixed. We'll get this stuff out of here. Maybe a smaller fan shroud. It all depends. If Mr. PIB gets it, we'll take it a little bit further than we would have for anybody else. But if he decides against it, again, we'll get the fuel tank sending unit and get the bed bolted down, get the brakes working. And, well, of course, all that's going to be gone. We may put a shroud on a different fan, but that's as far as we'll take it. But if Mr. PIB gets it, we'll try to get the bumpers put on, whatever he wants done, and go from there. These bumpers might be a Tim Dixon project. Tim Dixon, Gas Axe Chop Shop, 10 Mile, Tennessee. I wanted to throw that in there in honor of Mr. PIB. But let me show you the bottom of this old truck. We'll let it down right there. You can see a little bit of rust in this bottom of this cab corner. You can see here where they moved these cab mounts off this frame. But it's a leaf spring frame, so it's probably a GMC frame, more than likely. Could have been a Chevrolet. Of course, that's laying right on that, but the reason being is it's up in the air. The rear end's dropped down. So you can look over that. When this truck, has the suspension loaded, this will come back up here where it needs to be. Nothing wrong with that. It's exactly how it's supposed to be. The cab mounts are perfect. You can see this inner rocker's got a hole right here. Probably had a rat's nest, something like that in it. But the floor is perfect. I mean, it's dirty, but again, these cab mounts are solid, and that's saying something on a 66 model. The floor is really good through here. Has a little bit of rust right there. Nothing terrible. Little bitty spot right here. Again, guys, it's a 66. This inner rocker has a little bit of rust, but the cab mount's good. Again, the floor is perfect. This is perfect, this brace. And this rear cab mount, all that's great. I mean, this is a really solid truck for a 66. You can see here it's got no bed liner in it, but all of the wood strips are there to put the wood back in it. Actually, a little bit of the old wood still there too. But wipe that camera off. That looks a little bit foggy. But anyways, guys, it still needs a lot of love. Let me bring it on up and unlock these locks. Just about knocked myself out right there. That would have felt good. But anyway, the truck still needs a lot of love, but again, most of the hard work is done. 2 or 3 days out here messing with it, we could have this truck to the point to where you could drive it safely. Other than the tires aren't very good, but we could run it up and down the road. And again, just taking it to that next level. I love the look of the bed and the hood. I don't know what truck that came off of. I really wish the cab and stuff would have been better on it. Would have been awesome to have that patina, penetraled. It would have looked really good. But anyway, it doesn't matter. A man could, try to match this or paint it satin black or, any color you wanted, really. It's just a blank canvas. You could do anything you want to do with this old truck, and you're not going to hurt it. You're just going to improve it. And this truck done is worth a pretty good penny, depending on how far you take it. But we've got to get these bolted down. Again, guys, this is somebody's old project, so you've got to look over a whole lot of stuff on it, but it's just little things. And this is what I was talking about in one of my other videos. A lot of people start projects like this and they get so far and they just get disgusted. But they've cut out a little spot right here. I don't know why they cut that out, but that would be an easy fix. It don't need a ton of metal work. It's really solid. It's the bottom of the bed here is kind of bent in, but all you got to do is kind of bend that back out. It would make a super cool old shop truck, or you could make a nice truck out of it, depending on what you wanted to do with it. It's a small back window truck. It'd be nice if it was the big back window, but I kind of like the small back glass. It gets really hot in that cab with a big back glass. So anyway, again, guys, it's just an honest old truck. It's not really hiding anything. I've seen some super nice trucks like this, super nice trucks. Slick paint, something somebody spent a lot of time and money on that is really in worse shape than this one. They just cover a lot of stuff up and throw some pretty paint on it and send it on down the road. But anyways, this will make a nice truck for somebody. Again, Mr. PIB and Mrs. PIB are kind of discussing it. I don't know if they'll get it or not. Who knows? But if they don't, again, we're going to get it running and driving. Send it to the next guy, and hopefully the next guy can take it to the next level. Guys, I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.